Welcome to Sports City, your home of sports analysis, both local and international. You are with me, Bill Clinton, and it's a full circle moment right here on the studio with my colleagues, Mr. Chris Mololo and Felix Makona. We have the most exciting football analysis to get to you today, this football weekend. Remember, it's a huge football weekend with both local and international fixtures. But also remember, our channels of communication are officially open. Do be sure to send in your thoughts, your opinions, your comments, your predictions as well. Pale ndani ya 0219800384, which is our SMS and WhatsApp number. We also live through our socials, that is at Science TV Kenya. So be sure to chime in as we delve into today's discussion. It sure is a good day to be on broadcast, and it feels good to be back once again on your screens. Now, gentlemen, we have a lot lined up today. Ama namna gani?
Kweli.
Kabisa. Let's start with you, Chris. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Right.
The weekend is fantastic.
Okay.
Ready for the show.
Kabisa. Makona?
Me, I'm sad because Liverpool won.
Right. So basically, that is what we're talking about today. We have the EPL. We have the CHAN, of course, as well. It's still ongoing. A lot of actions. Gentlemen, we're going to talk about that. And not forgetting an exclusive interview we have with the New Wakati Sports founder and director, Mr. Steve Waruku. We had a sit down with him, and he's going to talk. We are going to talk more about emerging sports, how emerging sports are disrupting local sports, or should I say, local games as usual. We're going to talk about that in a few. But then again, gentlemen, I want us to kick off with the big league, the English Premier League that we have that came back. That resumed yesterday. We had Liverpool playing against Bournemouth. A very tight contested match. 4-2
Yes.
at the end of the day. What did you make of it, gentlemen? Let's start with you, Chris.
First, I'm happy that we won at least 3 points Kibindoni already. And just talking about the match generally, you could see that the Liverpool defense is still because we have new fullbacks in the team, Frimpong and Kekes. You could see that the Bournemouth attackers were really giving them hard time, especially Kekes.
Right.
I don't know ni kama ni vile wachezaji wa Bournemouth wanamjua or what happened, baridi, but I'm sure with time they are going to improve. I'm very impressed with the attacking, because you could see Eketike, the striker.
Right.
He scored, and I think he also got an assist. And looking at someone like Chiesa,
Yes.
this was the first signing of Arne Slot when he came to Liverpool, and he has not been giving him time. And yesterday, I think he proved that he needs more time. And especially when Salah goes to AFCON in December, then I think we have a perfect replacement there.
Yeah, you mentioned key signings there. We have the likes of Kakes, the Lumesema, Frimpong, Ekitike, Florian Wirtz, Mr. Bakoda.
Yes.
Big disappointment rather. We've talked about this. Is it disappointment, or is it a lot of expectations for some of these players, the likes of Florian Wirtz, who is one of the expensive signings that have been made?
As Liverpool going for Florian Wirtz for around 150 million pounds was just I can say it is ironical, because when a player like the level of Florian Wirtz coming to the EPL, we expect him to score. Yesterday, he didn't even provide even an assist. He was subbed off in the 80 minutes. When Chiesa came in, he scored. So I will say, we cannot say his game does not match that of Liverpool or the Premier League.
Yeah.
What I can assure you is that it is like Florian Wirtz is flopping already, because
You wish.
Too early.
Too early to judge.
Too early.
Too early to judge.
Because even in the friendlies, you could see Florian Wirtz was still struggling. Now he's now in the Premier League, but on the other side, I can say Liverpool are just trying to make sure that the squad is fighting together and they are winning matches. Because how can you tell me Liverpool in the first half they were leading 2-0? In the second half, in the 80 minutes, it is a 2-2 draw. Then they are fighting again to win the game they had already winning. So, Mololo, the irony comes when a team like Liverpool is fighting to draw with, to win against Bournemouth after they were leading.
That happens in football. That Bournemouth iliwapiga last season, so I don't know what you are talking about.
What I'm thinking is this: if that is Bournemouth doing you that, what about Arsenal? What about Man U? What about Man City?
And we're going to talk about such top players like Arsenal, like Manchester United. But I do believe there's that expectations with new players, but you have to also keep in mind, Makona, that there's usually the gelling of the team.
Yeah.
These players have not really been with the squad for a very long time. Despite them being talented and whatnot, of course, there's that expectation that with the experience that they have, getting into the team should not be hard, especially a good team like Liverpool. But also there's these standards. These players like Mohamed Salah, who I do believe genuinely yesterday he was kept really well. He was kept silent most of the game.
Yeah.
We did not see him get on the ball that much. Later on, he found those pockets of spaces, and he helped score that late goal at 90 plus minutes. You feel like many of these players, even those who have already been in the league, you wouldn't expect them to just kick off immediately.
Yeah.
But we as fans, we don't think the way you think. We think when a player is signed, he's signed because of his quality. Because you can't tell me Liverpool went for Florian Wirtz and left Semenyo there at Nottingham or at Bournemouth. I can tell you, when Liverpool was going for Florian Wirtz, they were going for performance. Right. Now he has come, he's not performing. We as fans, we will say, the person who Liverpool signed is not working.
Are you going to judge him with the first match? First Premier League match?
He has already played friendlies, and those friendlies never performed. So this is the
But
first
you saw,
APL
he even scored against Yokohama.
Yeah, but what is that team from Japan? That team cannot.
A team
no.
A team is a team.
You cannot bring it to the EPL and it performs. It will go to relegation. Mololo,
he already scored. He already scored in the friendlies.
What I'm trying to say, Mololo, is we as fans, we see Florian Wirtz as a star and he should be scoring, not just even
You wish Florian flops now that Odegaard is down.
He has already
drop performance yake.
But he has already flopped.
I think I'll have to be a referee in this particular show today. But then again, those are the kind of conversation we're talking about today. So make sure you send in your comments, your thoughts and opinions as well. And that was just the first game of match day 1. Gentlemen, today match day 1 continues. We have big games to look out for. The likes of Wolves, who are at home, are playing, welcoming Man City, playing away. Same conversation as Liverpool. Yeah. The new signings going to have a massive impact in Manchester City squad, for example, because for a very long time they have been champions.
Yeah.
Last season we saw a glimpse of the invisible side of Man City not being invisible anymore.
Yeah.
And Pep Guardiola was very critical about this. Bringing in key players, Chucky from Lyon, for example, Reinders from AC Milan. Top quality players. We have Ait Nouri, former Wolves player, now in the City squad. Should you expect Manchester City to bounce immediately with winning goals, probably 4 or more against like the opponents Liverpool? Maybe get back to the top of the table, or how do you see this season panning out for them, especially Makona?
Yeah, I can say Man City are always leaders, and I want you to note one thing: the opening game of the EPL, mostly the traditional top 6, that is Manchester City, Arsenal, Man U, Chelsea, will want to win that opening game to give momentum to the players. Right. So in this game, I see even if the new signed players cannot perform, but Man City will still beat Wolves, and this is the easiest day for Manchester City. Manchester City will thrash Wolves up to 3 goals, because if you look at Manchester City, they brought in back Trafford, that is the best goalkeeper from the academy. They signed him back. Now they still have Ederson, they still have good defense, and the midfield is good too. We cannot say now that Rodri is not playing that Manchester City midfield is not good. Kovacic will cover up, others will cover up, and the midfield will be good. And Now, when it comes to Wolves, Wolves will try to score one to show that they were in the game. So my prediction is that Manchester City win, but it looks like a goal.
Mololo.
Yes.
For a very long time, Wolves have proven a difficult opponent for Manchester City. Not only last season, but anytime where they do play together, there's that they are a defensive mindset, a counter-attacking mindset at times. Do you believe how crucial is it for Wolves to try and pin down Manchester City? For many of us who do think that Wolves are a mid-table team, for example, why is it crucial for them to start off with a winning start, or at least a positive start against champions like Manchester City?
In this summer transfer, Wolves have lost some good players like Matthias Cunha. They've lost Aït-Nouri. And I think their absence will be felt. But I think they still have some good players that can really give Manchester City a hard time. Like Felix is saying, I don't believe the defense of Man City, because apart from Gvardiol and maybe Ruben Diaz, those are the only defenders that I can say these ones are good. Looking at if they'll play Matheus Nunes on the right back and Aït-Nouri there, I can see them conceding. But of course, Manchester City is going to win the today's match. But I don't think it will be so easy, because in that midfield, the players are still new. You could see, yes, they are playing well, but in the friendlies, you can't pretty judge them until you get into serious business like Premier League.
Right.
And it will depend with the squad that Pep puts today, because some of the midfielders in Man City, the age is catching up with them, like Gundogan, Bernardo Silva. But it depends with the squad that Pep plays today.
Right.
But generally, Manchester City are going to win.
Talking about having new players on the squad, having to reshape the squad, having to try and work out with new players on your team. Tottenham Hotspur, who are now who brought in a new coach, they suffered the loss of one of their key players, Son, moving moving away from the club, and they are playing today at home against newly promoted new boys in town, Burnley.
Yeah.
Now Burnley on the other side, they're not really new to the Premier League. They've been here before.
They were there.
Exactly, they were there before. Their manager Scott Parker really knows a side like Tottenham really well. He was there previously with a team like Fulham. So what should you expect for today from Thomas Frank's side, Tottenham, against sort of a revamped side like the Burnley as well?
The way I said, always these top 6 teams will want to win their opening game and also their last game of the EPL. And it is not different for Tottenham. Tottenham playing against Burnley, then I reconnect with the game they played against PSG. They were already winning against PSG in the Super Cup. And I can assure you, Tottenham are back to their winning ways. Beating PSG 2 goals and waiting for them to come back for the 2 goals before they won on penalties shows that the new manager has brought in a new inspiration that Tottenham can work. Now, following, they have signed Kudus, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
They also signed, there's this midfielder and a right back. I've forgotten the name, but Tottenham now, they are moving in the right position. When you compare them to other teams, you find that Tottenham, in their attacking football, they have really established themselves. And today, my expectation is that Tottenham will beat Burnley, let's say 3-0 or 2-1. Because on the other side, Burnley are preparing. They are just cementing. I remember they were there in 2021-2022 season before they were relegated. And I can assure you, their fighting spirit in the Premier League has not gone out of them. So I expect them at least to make Tottenham defense to be shaky at least and maybe get 1 goal.
You made a really good point there, Makona, talking about bringing in PSG, how Tottenham played against PSG. And with the new coach comes in new systems, definitely.
Yeah.
And Thomas Frank did really well he had his time at
Brentford.
with a 4-2-3-1 kind of formation. Right here at Tottenham, he sort of has such kind of players who can really fit to that system. Matthias Tel uko mbele,
Yeah.
Kudus Pali uko mbele. They can really rotate their front squad if they want, the attacking power if they want. Mololo, do you believe the kind of success that Thomas Frank had at Brentford, he can really replicate the same to Tottenham, try to move them from a very embarrassing position from last season?
Yes, he will even do better because I think the squad is so good. Starting from the defense, Adi to the attack, because you could see even in the PSG game, the combination of Christian Romero and Mickey van de Ven
Yes.
is coming back to the strong combination that we used to see.
Right.
And you could see some players there in the midfield, like a person like Pape Sarr.
Yes.
He played so well in that match, and they still have a very good squad. I think the depth is, well, you could see even in the attacking, Richarlison is coming back to the form that he used to be.
True.
Because anajua he's competing with Solanke.
Right.
So I think Thomas Frank is going to do better, and I'm sure this season Tottenham is going to finish in a very good position, probably top 6.
Probably top 6. And dear fans, pale nyumbani, from wherever you're watching us from, do you really believe a team like Tottenham? Mololo has given us his prediction, top 6. Last season they did really poorly. Finishing 17th is not a position where a top 6, a team that is mostly related to top 6 finishes, it should be finishing at. So this season, do you agree with Mololo, or do you think they can do better? Maybe top 4, maybe get back to Champions League football where they are supposed to be. Big Shot, send in your thoughts and comments as well. Kumbuka, our channels of communication are officially open. 021-980384 is our SMS and WhatsApp number. Now, gentlemen, we have new boys in town. Right? Talking about Sunderland, talking about Leeds, and the likes of Burnley as well. Sunderland, for them, they've been away for quite some time, almost close to 15 years. They've been away out of the Premier League. We have the likes of Leeds, who they have players who are wamesumbua sana. James Pale, quality players who have played in the Premier League. They know how the Premier League can be tough, so they can manage really well.
Yeah.
Then we also have Burnley. These 3 teams, what kind of quality do you think they are bringing to the league that is different from the boys who went down, the likes of Southampton and whatnot? Do you feel like they are going to cause a lot of stress in this season? Because when you look at Sunderland, their first game is against West Ham.
Yes.
West Ham, they have lost quite a few players. They seem not really prepared. For Leeds, they're playing against Everton. Everton is a really good side.
Yeah.
This is a good challenge for Everton, for Leeds, because being their first game of the season, playing against a tough side like Everton. Yeah. And Everton have shown a glimpse of Sumbua, especially top 6 clubs.
Yeah.
And also we know the fact that later on we'll be having Burnley and Tottenham Shongilia here. But what generally should we expect about from these 3 teams that have been promoted to the Premier League this season?
Yeah, I will expect a tough competition because these teams, despite them coming to the Premier League, they also signed some of the stars. Like Sunderland signed Arsenal ex-midfielder, that is Granit Xhaka.
Yes.
And knowing that they have signed him and given him the captaincy, he will like to do the way he did at Arsenal when he's at Sunderland. True. And he's a good midfielder,
He has been captain as well. He's now the captain of the club.
Yeah, yes. And these small clubs that are coming from relegation, you find they come in, they try to fight that we are not going back to the relegation. And it is no different from Burnley, Sunderland, and Leeds. They are going to make sure that they remain. I remember when Wolves and the likes of Crystal Palace were coming back. That was around 2015 there. They have never gone back. It is because they have already been fighting for their positions. And remember, the last 3 teams that came last season, they also went back to the relegation. But this time, I see 2 of them remaining. I don't see Sunderland going to relegation. I don't see Leeds.
Are they small teams really, Mololo? Are they really small teams? Ama watakuja na pressure. Vile nimesema Wolves, they came into the league na wakaamua you're not going back.
Yeah, it's possible because I believe these teams are coming to prove to the opponents that we've been here before,
right, and
we are here to stay. The ones that have been here for some time, hata nyi muende championship musikie vile kuko. So I agree with Felix. I think 2 of the 3 teams that were promoted this season are going to remain.
2 of the 3?
2 of the 3. I think Sunderland will remain because I think they have a very good squad that right, can help it remain in the Premier League. I think Leeds also, looking at how they performed in the championship, I expect them to give opponents quite some tough times. So I think Burnley ndio sina confidence sana nayo, but for Leeds and Sunderland, I'm sure they can fight to remain.
Without a doubt, they can do fight. They're really going hard into the market as well.
Yeah.
Like the way Felix mentioned, bringing in Granit Xhaka, I think that was a great move. He's bring that winning mentality to the squad. From Leverkusen, he won great things. From Arsenal, a big team. So some of these players will be looking at him and seeing we have an experience in the squad. Yeah. We have a father figure or a big brother figure to try and give us that mentality, the Premier League mentality that is very crucial. Talking about those who are going to do well this season, gentlemen, before 20 Kabisa to switch to stances to maybe Chan or whatnot. What about, it might be too early to speak about this, but top 4. Yeah. Top 4 to Guzier top 4 because all the big boys, all the big guns have gone really hard on the market. Transfer market bado jafungwa, guys. So there are still movements going on here and here. There are teams who need new signings here and there. Chelsea, for example, they need a defender really soon as possible because Colwill is out of some time. So you can imagine Enzo Maresca will be looking to solidify his back line. Manchester City are being linked to the goalkeeper Donnarumma pale because it's I think it is Galatasaray or Fenerbahce. They have requested for they're requesting for Edison. So anything can happen as far as goalkeeper signing is concerned. Remember also Donnarumma's agent was really vocal about this, saying the next top 4 Donnarumma is the Premier League, none other place. Yeah. So when you look at the top 4, tuanze na Mr. Mulosh. Top 4 yako, be honest as possible. Of course, big tumeona teams zote zimenunua top signings.
Yeah.
So go kusema Manchester United. So go because when you look at a team like Manchester United, honestly speaking, they don't have much going on for them this season, right? Not many distractions. Champions League hakuna Europa. Pale ni Carabao, ni
FA na ligi.
Yeah. So and they've really solidified the squad, bringing in a lot of firepower. So let's start with you, Molosh. Your top 4, ideally for going through this season.
My top 4, I'll begin with the 4th. I think Chelsea will finish 4th, as much as they have a very big squad. The depth is there, but I think Chelsea is a team for tournaments. I think they reach a point and they are affected by fatigue.
Okay.
I think the players huwa wanashikwa na fatigue, and when Cole Palmer is not shining, then Chelsea looks completed. Finished kabisa. Right. So that's why I'm giving them number 4. And if they don't get a defender to play in that Levi Colwill's position,
right,
then at number 5 wanaweza maliza. Then number 3, I think Manchester City, because I'm not very sure with that defense unless Pep does something. And this is something that I mentioned. Apart from Gvardiol and Ruben Diaz, right, who has been prone to injuries nowadays, I don't know why. I think the attack, they are good, but in the defense, they are going to concede quite a number of goals. And Guardiola, hata kama bibi alirudi, stress imepungua, I don't think he's going to be a champion.
Right, number 2.
Then Arsenal, I think they'll be number 2.
Right.
Because hapo ndio wamezoea anyway.
3 years running. Wamekuwa hapo number 2.
For the 4th season nawaona tena number 2. Liverpool, I think they are going to retain the title because, you know, Arne Slot, and I think this is something that I told you, he was told that he won the Premier League with a squad that was made by Jurgen Klopp.
Right.
And I think he wants to prove something to the rivals that I can win with my own squad.
A different squad.
With a different squad. Even yesterday you could see that with the substitutes,
Right.
he was kind of gambling, but it bared fruits.
True.
And I'm sure the only thing he needs to do, I think, it's to bring one more defender. And we've been linked with the signing of Makguehi from Crystal Palace. We already signed Giovanni Leoni
Yes.
from Parma.
Yes.
And I think huwezi tegemea an 18-year-old defender, so we need some experience. And if he gets that and Gravenberch comes back, then we are good to go.
Do you think Liverpool still needs the services of Alexander Isak?
Yes, sure. Because Ekitike, yes, he's a good striker, but we need someone who has the experience for the Premier League.
Them number 5 is because they played well against PSG, but when you look at the Chelsea squad, it is bloated. The coach doesn't know who to start. Let's say, for example, the striking position. There is Joao Pedro, there is the boy
Delap.
from Ipswich, Delap, there is Jackson, there is also a youngster there. These 4 strikers, who will you start? And you want to win the league, you know? The problem with Chelsea is that they rotate the squad too much. Because even if you look at the defense, today you will find the striker the defense that started today is not the defense that started, that will start in the next game. And you know, that one causes inconsistency for the team. If the defense today was good, let you stick to that defense. But Chelsea, they like changing so much, and that one will cost Chelsea the top 4. Then number 6 will be Manchester United. Of course, they will be back to play in the Europa. Because when I look at Manchester United squad, I will say they are really improving in their attacking position. But defense is where there's the problem. Ruben Amorim wants to play with 3 defense and 4 midfielder, then
3 attackers.
3 attackers. You know, 3-4-3 will not work for Manchester United. 3-4-3 needs a strong defender, like let's say Saliba and Gabriel. Then you add someone like Rudiger from Real Madrid. It needs those lineup. But when you put there this Mwarabu, you called what? Lenioro and Mazrui, and you expect them to beat the likes of Adama Traore, you know? The EPL has a lot of beasts as strikers. And when you put that defense against them, it gives you a problem. So I start with Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Newcastle, Chelsea number 5, number 6 Manchester United. Of course, Tottenham will be there. So kama Chelsea na Man U na Tottenham hawatajipanga, there will be an altercation in 4, 5, 6.
Very interesting pick there from Makwana. What about you, Mololo? Unana Manchester United, how do you think they're going to fare on this season? Because safe to say, you know, maybe a top 4 can be a fast stretch because there's a lot of integration, but they still have quality players who can still take them anywhere, any position, be it fast, be it 10th, be it in any European position that they may see fit. But in your honest opinion on how they've moved the transfer market, and do you think it will propel them from 15 to a more desirable position?
Yeah, sure. Manchester United are still rebuilding, and there's something that Marcus Rashford said, and I agree with him. When you lay a strategy, you have to stick with it. And I think Manchester United should be patient with the coaches. That thing of changing coaches like clothes, I don't think if it's a good thing, because and I remember Marcus Rashford gave an example with Liverpool when Klopp came. He started rebuilding and he did not win in the first season or the second or the third, but he was improving season by season, and that is the thing that Manchester United should do. I see them improving from the 15th position maybe to number 6 or 7. That would be an ideal position for them. And I hope that Ruben Amorim sticks with the system so that the players can adapt.
Wow, so that the players can adapt. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to discuss about the English Premier League, but unfortunately, we also have a lot to talk about as far as different tournaments is concerned. And right about now, as we finish this segment of the English Premier League, gentlemen, just a minute from each one of you. Golden Boot this season, Golden Glove this season. Remember last season it was shared between Sales from Nottingham and David Raya from Arsenal. Golden Boot iliendea
Salah.
Mohamed Salah, but also Player of the Year. A lot of new players are coming in. You have Gyökeres from Arsenal. You have Sesko from for Manchester United. Who is going to be one? Your Golden Boot favorite, Golden Glove favorite, and also the Player of the Year. Molosh,
for the Golden Boot, I think it goes to Erling Haaland.
All right.
For the Golden Glove, I see David Raya once again.
Okay.
I think he's going to win it for the third time. Raya is a very good goalkeeper, but I expect some competition because Sales is still there in Nottingham Forest. Although Nottingham Forest might not perform as good as they did last season, but the goalkeeper, I think he will maintain the performance.
Player of the Year?
Player of the Year, quite a tough one, but I think Moises Caicedo.
Off to you, Makona.
Yeah, I will start with the Golden Gloves. That is always David Raya. Because, the Golden Boot is won by the defense. And when you look in the EPL defense right now, there's no better defense than that of Arsenal. Mololo,
yes.
Nakaribia.
Acha tuone sasa nikiendelea.
Hapo umeshindwa. It is that the Golden Boot is that it is won by the defense, and I've already told you Arsenal inaanguka nayo. Then Golden Boot, that where I see it is Salah, Mohamed Salah. I will put it back. He will win it consecutively. That is Mohamed Salah. Mololo naona unacheka lakini it is the truth. I don't. So, Player of the Year, Martin Zubimendi. Because Martin Zubimendi, when you look at his playing style, he already came in, and in the preseason, he already gave an assist to Gyökeres. And the way he's playing, the way he is composed, I was thinking Thomas Partey was the best defensive midfielder, but I've seen Arteta as another eyes than the eyes we see on television. So I will say he will be the Player of the Year. Then I can say the best performing team will be Liverpool.
Right.
Rudia tena wasikia.
But
Arudia tena.
Those are really top choices. Very interesting choices. And let us know, Pale Nyumbani, or wherever you're watching us from, what are who is a Golden Boot favorite to take it home this season? Last time out we had Mohamed Salah. This season, who is a top pick as well for the Golden Glove position? And also finally, who will be the Player of the Year? Make sure to send us your opinions, your thoughts as far as these categories are concerned. And don't forget also your top 4 choices. Who is going to stand out, and why do you think they are going to stand out?